What's up, YouTube? This is a video I'm about finished with this car, and this is my 2000 Honda Insight. And I thought I would do a final video probably on this car and just talk about some of my favorite modifications that I've done to it. So yeah, we'll just jump right into it. And I guess I'm going to title this probably my 10 favorite modifications to my Gen 1 Insight. So here we go. So these cars are great. There's a few things you can do to them. Most of the things I'm going to talk about are really specific to this car. You know, like in other words, you could put a better stereo in any car. But most of the things I'm going to talk about are things that are for the folks that own these cars, and they're specific to this car, although a couple are going to just be generalized. But there's a few things you can do to these. I've owned a couple, and you know, I've got a couple dozen videos where I've talked in detail about most of the things I'm going to talk about now, so this will just be brief. But there's a few things you can do to these cars to make them perform better, get better gas mileage, and just, you know, improve the feel of the car. So that's what I'm going to talk about, and I'm real happy with where it's at. The first thing I'll talk about is the current hack. And again, I did a video on this where I talked in detail about what it is, but you'll have to do some research. But the current hack yields, from my estimation, and this is subjective, there's really no data to prove any of this, but it's just from looking at what data I do have that is really not controlled variable data. It's more subjective data. But just going from that and owning a lot of cars and modifying a lot of cars, I estimate about a 10% torque bump to the electric motor and to the overall performance of the car, which for a car with only, you know, I think it's 73 horsepower and 91, I think, foot-pounds of torque, a 10% bump is significant. So if you were to apply that 10% bump to a normal car, let's say with 200 horsepower or 200 foot-pounds of torque, 10% added to that would be 20, which is quite noticeable. And so I am confident that from that and the butt dyno, that this current hack has really made a difference in this car. And you can just see the acceleration here. Not overpowering, you know, not great, not crazy, not fast by any means, but significant. 10% probably more than it had by putting some resistors on the MCM and BCM. And so that's a great mod that I have really enjoyed on this car, and it's made it go from slow to slow, from slow to just a little more pickup than it had. I think the 0 to 60 on this is like 9.7 seconds, or right around 10, depending on what you read. This probably drops it down into the 8 territory, which just makes it and makes first and second gear much more enjoyable. Again, not overpowering, but a nice change. Okay, so that's my first thing. Second thing, favorite mods, 10 favorite mods, would be this S2000 steering wheel that I'm currently enjoying. I got this for, I think it was $180 shipped to me, and it's in very good condition. It's a direct swap, and if you're getting a S2000 wheel, you want to definitely check out, make sure you get, there's two different kinds. There's a perforated and a non-perf. I actually prefer the non-perforated. I've had two of these. I've handled the perforated ones, and I don't think it fits the character of the car, and I like the way the non-perforated feels better. So this is a direct swap, and you can, what I did is I bought this for $180, and then I sold my stock wheel for like $150. So really, for just a little bit of money, you can get this very nice leather-wrapped S2000 steering wheel for your Insight, and the Insight airbag just swaps right in very nicely. So that's number 2, the S2000 steering wheel. Number 3 favorite mods would be my clutch switch. And we have that right over here. And so what this means is when I push this button, it operates the clutch switch, and now my car no longer has charger assist, and I can driving in gas only mode. And then when I push this again, it reactivates the IMA, and as you can see, we once again are assisting and charging. And why would you want to do that? That's another discussion. Go watch my video on the clutch switch mod. but it was something that was cheap and easy and inexpensive to do, and it's a great mod, especially if you have a battery that's not the best battery. All right, so that's the clutch switch. Number 4 favorite mods on the Insight would be my short throw shifter. And the Insight comes with a shifter that's very very toy-like. It's almost like a video game shifter, and that's something I love about the car. So it's already very short anyway, but the short throw, and I again have a video on this you can check out. It reduces probably by 10 or 15%, not huge, but it reduces the throw just a little bit, and it just makes it all that more feeling little notchy and special. And I will just show you a couple shifts here. So this is very short. And again, probably a 10% reduction, 10 or 15%. Nice little change, subtle but noticeable. Short throw shifter. All right. Number 5 would be my mirror. Now this is one of those things you can do to any car. But I thought I'd mention it just because one of the cool things, and that was very inexpensive, one of the cool things about this car is it has the CRX type rear window, and so it's got the hatchback, and then it has the other little window. And I don't know if you can see in my mirror from this angle, but this larger mirror I got, it's a 240 millimeter mirror. It just clips right on, and it enables me when I look back to see through both windows at once, but not only the hatchback window, but the actual I don't know, I guess you could call it the CRX window. And so you can see both, and it kind of just allows you to make use of that feature of the car, that you can use that window and see through it. So I love this mirror. It's a must-have for me. I've had it on both my Insights, and I highly recommend it. Get a larger mirror, clip on. And that's number 4. I'm gonna park here, and then I'll go into the rest of these. So the next thing, that was number 4. Number 6, that was number 5. Number 6 is this armrest, and I'm gonna pull this off the head mount here and show you this armrest, which I've talked about this elsewhere and did a whole write-up and install on it on my channel. But this is great, solid. It's from a 6th gen Civic, and just a great armrest. It fits, it gives you more storage, and fits perfectly around the brake, and it matches this one perfectly in terms of height, so it's quite nice and looks about stock. I could probably line this with something to make it look a little prettier, but I didn't. But that is the armrest. Number 7 would be my front and rear speakers. So I upgraded these speakers, and I added back speakers. Again, video on that has already been done, but the sound difference is tremendous. I'll just give you a little sample here of some Buckethead. And big difference in the speaker addition. So nice difference, takes it from sounding super chintzy and economy car feeling to really sounding decent. And one cool thing about that also is that the cabin is so small that the speaker upgrade is immediately noticeable, and it makes a difference. All right, and then 3 other things as we round this out. Number 8 would be my window tint. I've got 20% on the car, and I'll just show you from outside real quick what it looks like. And I think this car was one of those cars that looks especially good with a good window tint. So you could do that to any car, but I think it fits this car very well. Number 9 is my front and rear springs. I did front springs and rear springs, and there's custom made by a guy named Scott Colbeck. A great guy, does springs, and really transforms this car and just makes it go from being what I call punishing and painful riding car to much more just smoother, better riding. It absorbs the road better, and it's just much better sprung with these increased stiffness springs. And then finally, number 10, kind of throw this on at the end, is my Fumoto valve, which is an oil drain valve that I have in the bottom in the oil pan, and it just makes oil changes a cinch. Now that's one you can do to any car, but I put it on all my cars, and I thought I'd throw that on there as number 10, just because it's a good mod. So that's 10 favorite mods to the Honda Insight. And I am done with this car. I've kind of done all the modifications and just about all the fixes I want. I got one or two little things, just did some ceramic coating on it. It's looking great, and really enjoying driving it. So that is the top 10 favorite modifications for the Honda Insight Generation 1. If you have questions, leave them, and I'll talk to you later.